We are here at Frankfurt Airport. Are planning to fly out of Frankfurt over to London Heathrow. So I like this airport. It has some good detail. I like the Lufthansa emblem on it, as you can see right here. So yeah, let's get into this flight. Alright, as you can see here, nice Airbus A330-900 here, the Lufthansa livery, and we are here at the gate. And I want to try to do this as real as possible, trying to do it as it would be done in real life. But alright, so that puts us here in the flight deck. And so yeah, there you can see that nice Lufthansa livery right there. I mean, that nice Lufthansa emblem. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn on external power. Let me see if I can get a good camera view. There we go. And let's see, let's go up here. Alright, let's go ahead and power on external power, A and B. Okay, and then let's turn on battery 1, battery 2, and the APU battery. And next, let's go ahead and align our navigation. So turn that to nav. Turn all three of these to nav here. So let's go to plan flight. So you can see we got Frankfurt here to Heathrow. Our cruising altitude is 38,000 feet today. So let's go ahead and plug that into the panel here, if I can get there. There we go. Let's turn these up a little brighter. Alright, so let's dial in 38,000 feet. There we go. And while we're here, let's turn on the flight directors. Alright, so they're on. Alright, we can zoom in and out of the map here. Alright, let's go back to our, actually, you know what? Let's take care of a couple things while we're down here. So let's arm leave the ground spoilers, and let's set the flaps back to 1. Okay, so at least that's done, and we can just go ahead and turn this to Terra. And alright, let's go back to our EFB. Let's sync the plan into the aircraft. Syncing in progress. Alright, syncing is finished. Let's sync the payload and sync the fuel. So we have the weights in. Alright, now let's go down to the FMC. Let's make this a little bit brighter if we can. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it pulled in our flight plan right here. Cruise altitude, flight number, all that. So cost index, let's go to view our plan, and let's put 36 in for cost index. Alright, so that's in there. Move this over here. I don't know if this is being a little bit glitchy, but let's check the fuel and see if it. Yeah, see, I don't know why. It seems like it's not pulling in the fuel or the weights. This may be bugged, but I tried another flight a little while ago, and it was, without this information, it seemed to be following the flight plan pretty good. So let's look at the flight plan. We have a flight plan discontinuity, so let's go ahead and click the clear soft key. Let's clear that discontinuity out. Let's go ahead and insert. Alright, let's go down. Do we have any more? There's another one. So let's go down and click clear, and click it and clear it out. Alright, and insert. And alright, so it looks like we're good. We wanna land at runway 09 left, left at Heathrow. So there you go. Alright, so what else? Let's get out of this real quick. Alright, so we have the information in our FMC. Let's see if, there we go. As you can see right here, we have our flight path right here. Okay. And this all, I don't know if this plane is bugged right now, but anyways, I believe this is an older plane from Microsoft 2020, but to me it's easy to fly. There's not a whole lot of not really a whole lot of stuff you have to do as far as messing with buttons and switches and things like that, and messing too much with inputting stuff in the FMC. So but anyway, let's go ahead, and if we're trying to be realistic here, let's go ahead and before the passengers would get on board, let's go ahead and call for some catering services to Frankfurt. So let's go to ground services. Alright, so let's first let's do baggage and catering services before we try to get the passengers on board.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Could you please send a baggage? Lufthansa 765 Heavy, baggage is on the way.
Alright, baggage is on the way. Let's also request the catering, so we have food.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Could you please send the catering truck? Lufthansa 765 Heavy, the catering truck is on the road.
Alright, catering truck is on the road. Alright, so let's take a little view outside and see see if anything's going on out here. Alright, there we go. So we have the baggage. I don't know why it's not showing any person like manning the baggage, but here comes the catering truck. Did they already get finished? graphics card isn't the strongest. I have an RTX 4060 Ti. Well, I don't know. Let's try that again. Maybe it's because I got out of the plane that it didn't go into showcase mode. So let's call for them again. Where's baggage?
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Could you please send a baggage? Lufthansa 765 Heavy, baggage is on the way.
Alright, this is catering service. And let's go to showcase mode. I don't know. It's like we have an automated baggage service with nobody operating it. Could be a graphics issue with my computer, but and then the catering truck acts like they don't want to go over there to the catering door. But here goes the baggage. Just pretend people are throwing the baggage on the conveyor belt there. Alright, so there's that. And okay, looks like baggage is done. Let's do baggage service end.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy. I am done with the baggage service.
Let's do catering.
Frankfurt
again,
ground.
see if they go.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. On the road. Could you please send the catering truck?
There we go. Oh, is it going over there? There we go. Some, there's a big Emirates plane in the background. Looks like an A380. Doco, the gourmet entertainment company. Let's, can we go in there? Let's put some food in the... Yeah, we can see in the plane here. My cameras are moving a little fast. Whoa. Let's go back up. I like this because you know you actually see the guy taking the carts on and off the plane. It's pretty cool. Alright, so we got that going on. And now let's just go ahead and call for the passengers.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Could you please get the passengers on board? Lufthansa.
Alright, catering's done.
The jetway is going to be connected.
Alright, jetway is coming up. Alright. So let's get the passengers on board here. Let's get back in the cockpit. Let's get into the flight deck. know if you can hear the. It's like the stewardess in the background. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to get our engines going here. Let's see. Alright, so let's go up here, turn the APU on, and start. Okay. And then let's go ahead and turn the fuel pumps on. Alright. So fuel pumps on. Alright. APU start is available, so let's go ahead and turn on APU bleed. Okay. So now that that's done, let's try to start up our engines here. Go down to the pedestal here. Let's turn on the ignition switch, which is right here. Okay. Okay. And let's turn on engine number 2. Okay. And then we can come right over here and monitor the progress. Alright, so here we have some action going. Let's see if we can get out and take a look at the engine starting up. There we go. For some reason it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Alright, there we go. Now, couldn't really hear the engine. Yeah. Alright, let's get back in the flight deck. So let's check and see if that engine is good to go. Actually, you know what? Let me see. I have the throttle up. These throttles aren't really. Let's see. Let's bring them back to 0. Right. Why are they going? Now it's going down. These throttles, I have Airbus throttle beside me, and the throttles are not really calibrated all that well on this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and flick on engine 1. There we go. And then we can also come over here. See if it's cranking up. As you can see, there we go. Let's go outside and take a look. Alright, so our engines are stabilizing here. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn our signs on. Okay, let's come back up to the overhead panel. Turn the seat belts on. Turn the seat belts on. No smoking. Alright, let's go ahead and turn off the APU master switch and the APU bleed. And let's also turn off our external power. Alright, so let's say that boarding has been completed, and let's call for the jetway disconnection.
Frankfurt ground, Lufthansa 765 Heavy. I am done with the boarding.
Alright, so there goes the jetway. Alright, passengers loaded up. So, actually, you know what? Let me do something else here. I don't really think it matters with this plane specifically, but let me just let's just do it to do it and try to be realistic. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's get our type in EDDF, enter, get METAR. Oh, this thing is bugged out right now. I don't know why, but have another solution. Alright, so we can go to, I have SimBrief, and you can go to Navigraph charts. Alright. So this was an old flight plan. Let me unload this and load the new plan. Import from SimBrief. And here it is. Download that into the tablet. Alright, and you can see our flight plan here from Frankfurt over to Heathrow. So let me get some information on our weather here. Frankfurt weather. Alright, so our altimeter is 1015. Alright. 1015. So let's go ahead. Okay, then we've got that set. Let's turn on some lights here. Turn on taxi light, runway. Let's see, why isn't this working? Let's turn the beacon on. that one not working? Okay, we're almost ready to. We're pretty much ready to taxi. So let's see here. Go to clearance. Let's request our IFR clearance.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to Heathrow. Lufthansa 765 Heavy is cleared to Heathrow Airport as filed. Expect runway 25 center. Maintain flight level 380. Departure frequency is 127.6. Squawk 751 tree.
Alright, let's acknowledge our clearance.
Clear to Heathrow as filed. Runway 25 center. Maintain flight level 380. Departure frequency is 127.6. Squawk 751 tree. Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Lufthansa 765 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.955. Good day.
Alright, so we've read back correct. And our squawk code is down here, I believe, 7513. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can get a pushback. Alright, let's do our let's see, taxi IFR. Request taxi.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy with Yankee, ready to taxi IFR. Lufthansa 765 Heavy, taxi to and hold short of runway 25 center via taxiway November 4 November 5 Lima 1.
Wow.
Contact tower on 119.905 when ready.
Kind of a long taxi route. Let's acknowledge that.
Taxiing. Hold short runway 25 center via taxiway November 4 November 5 Lima 1. Lufthansa 765 Heavy.
Okay. Alright, now let's get our pushback.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy requesting pushback. Lufthansa 765 Heavy, pushback request accepted.
Okay, let's get ready for pushback. Let the pushback tug get in position and we can turn the parking brake off. Hopefully he pushes us the right way. Let's tell him to steer to the left. Turn the parking brake off. Steer to the left, dude.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 765 Heavy requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left. Lufthansa 765 Heavy,
There we go.
your request has been transmitted to the operator.
is a nice airport. You can see the city there in the background, right? Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so just need to back up here just a little bit more, and I think we're gonna go, I wonder if it's straight down and over, and here's our, alright, they're gonna stop us. Alright, so let's hit the brakes around, otherwise we're probably gonna roll forward. Alright, so there goes the pushback tug. Let's hop in the flight deck. Okay. And now, let me see. Alright, now let's turn to the right here. Start our taxi to the runway. Seems like this thing is bugging out on us. I really wanted to turn. There we go. Fast here. Alright, so we're taxiing here. There's some cranes over there. Maybe they're adding to the airport. Alright. This thing is going pretty fast. The problem is, let me hop out real quick. Alright, let's turn here. There we go. 25 center. Alright, let's turn on to our runway. We gotta request clearance for takeoff. Alright, so let's stop right here. Put the parking brake on real quick and request takeoff clearance. Tune Frankfurt Tower. Request takeoff.
Frankfurt Tower. Lufthansa 765 Heavy ready for IFR departure. Runway 25 center.
Ready for IFR departure.
765 Heavy. QNH 1016. Cleared for takeoff runway 25 center.
Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway
25 center.
Lufthansa 765
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Alright. So QNH is 1016. So we're almost there, but let's dial it in. There we go. Alright, and let's make our way onto the runway. There we go. Okay, let's get set up here. Alright, we're getting turned around and aligned here. Alright. You guys ready to rock? Alright, let me make sure we got our everything situated before takeoff. So let's look up here. Let me turn this dial up. Yeah, so that way it's illuminated, so that's good. Alright, set this for nose takeoff. Just do the landing light for takeoff, strobe, auto, beacon on, wing lights on, nav and logo on. Let's turn off the runway. Runway turn. Okay, seat belts. All right. So looks like we're good to take off. So let's do it, guys. We're off to London. All right, here we go. Take the parking brake off and throttles up. Here we go. I like this Frankfurt airport. It's good details. Get a little off here. Get off center.
V1.
V1. Alright, we're off the ground. Let's bring up the landing gear. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the autopilot. Alright, here we go. Let's follow our flight plan here. Got the lever climb. So let's bring our throttles down to the climb position. Right there. Right there. You see that? Okay.
Did you hear my last transmission?
Let me acknowledge this transmission. Yes, I acknowledge. Center on 127.6. Good day.
127.6 for Lufthansa 765 Heavy.
Go. Beautiful A330 right here. Looks like there's some smokestacks right here. Smoke coming up. That one. Alright, let's see if we can bring up our flaps. Let's go back into the flight deck. Alright, so yeah, our speed is getting up towards these, it's like these red, I don't know what you call them, but anyways. Let me go ahead and put the flaps up. Okay. Alright, so there we're good. Those are gone. And we are on our way to cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. So just sit back and enjoy. Nice day. Go up some so I can see. There we go. See over the dash. And we can go to our chart here. And this one will tell you, let's unpin this down here. Alright, so yeah, this will tell you, so indicated airspeed, 249 knots right now, is your indicated altitude. We're climbing to 11,000 feet right now, almost. Your heading, GPS track, destination distance. So we got about 343 nautical miles till we reach Heathrow. Here's our squawk code 7513, right? Destination ETA. I believe this is destination estimated time en route, so it looks like we have about an hour until we would reach Heathrow. Alright, here's your airspeed, 372 knots. True altitude, local time. So there you go, all those things. Pretty cool. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Yeah, it's gonna blank out on me. I don't know why it does that. Let's go to satellite. Let's dial this in a little bit here. Okay. Get off that. Take a look out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Climbing. Beautiful day. Good. Almost at 20,000 feet now. We're at 403 knots, so speed is going up. Let's get our camera here. Don't really want all these things on there, but I'll get them off. We're above 18,000, so maybe it's 14,000 in Europe, so let's push these into standard. Oops. This standard, right? Right. our cameras work. Let's see, quick view. Seems like it's gonna be buggy on me again. There's one view. Nice view there. See if we can get another one. Oh, that's the door. And you can walk out into the cabin there. Can we go to the cabin window? I don't think. Alright, let's just see if we can do some externals. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, let's see, showcase. There's a good one. Look at that. Nice up close shot of the Lufthansa A330 here. Move around. See our engine spinning. See our trail behind us there. Nice shot here. Let's see what we have in it. Let's see, fix camera. There's a cool one. Turning. Hopefully. Oh, we're almost at about 33,000 feet right now. Still climbing. Let's get another view. If it would let me. That's a pretty good one. Wing view. Pretty nice. I gotta set up I guess I gotta set up my camera so that way I don't have to rely on clicking this Maybe I can just press the button and it will go right to the camera I want. I haven't gotten that far yet with this setup in this game. They won't even let me, like, just close it before I can even get to the camera. Well, you know what? Even though it won't let me do that, you can still make your own angles. So let's go to set. Gotta get up there. Flight deck, reset position, back to showcase. Alright, so let's do like a wing view here. Sit down on the wing. Pretty good view right here. Wing view. There's the bathroom. Below wing view. Flight path and all that stuff. Alright, so have we reached cruising? Looks like we have. So let's go ahead and take the seatbelt sign off. So basically at our 38,000 feet cruise level right now, we are cruising at 471 knots. So, our chart again. Alright, you can see we are, I don't know if this is still Germany or if we're getting into, I don't know. just taking a walk through the cabin here. It would be cool if there were people on here, but they are not. Yeah, maybe this one might not be set up to for you to see people on it, but it's nice that you can see the cabin. So, and then that's a nice touch. They have the Lufthansa logo right there. There's a little galley or kitchen, I'm not sure what it's called. Let's shut the door. Back in. Alright. Alright, so let's try to get some destination information to put in the FMC here. Alright, let's see. Alright, so let's bring up our tablet. Go over here to let's go to Heathrow here. Elevation is 83 feet. And let's get the weather here. Alright, so QNH is 1025. 1025, right? So let's put that in. Hit this key. Alright, it populates in there. Temperature 12 degrees Celsius. And the wind. So it's 30 degrees at 9 knots. So let's put 30/9. Put that in. Alright. So apparently that's not right. So let's do, what about 030/09. There we go. Alright, so we got that approach information filled in. Then let's go ahead and set our descent feet. My apologies, lost for words here. The descent altitude. So if Heathrow is 83 feet above sea level, I believe you basically do 2,000 feet above sea level. So this is basically right at sea level. Let's go ahead and turn this down to 2,000 feet. Just a rough estimate. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Yeah, well, let's leave it. Let's leave it at 2,000. Alright, so landing prep is pretty much done. And we just gotta wait for top of descent. So it looks like this white arrow. Looks like that white arrow is our descent. So getting closer to that. So right now, it looks like we are, I'm not sure if this is, it might be nautical miles. So 196. So we are getting close. I believe this is the ETA 1654, which right now we're at 1629. So basically about 24 more minutes, right? Okay. Alright, so let's just enjoy the cruise. Okay, we're about to start our descent, it looks like. So let's see if we start to descend here. We are on our way down. Alright, so it looks like we're arriving in London here. You can see the buildings over here. Alright, we're getting close to 10,000 feet now. Contact Heathrow approach.
Heathrow approach. Lufthansa 765 Heavy is at 11,400 feet, climbing flight level 380.
No, we're not actually climbing.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Climb and maintain flight level 380.
Alright, I regret that I did that because I don't need to climb to 38,000 feet. So you know what? Just need to turn them off.
Lufthansa
get it.
765 Heavy. Acknowledge last transmission.
Let's get a good view of the buildings here. Right there, down there. I believe that's London. Bridge. Oh, what? Is that a football stadium? Maybe Arsenal?
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Acknowledge last transmission.
Alright, now they're bothering us about that. Let's turn this off. Let's see.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. Acknowledge last transmission.
They're still talking to us.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Alright, are we about to hit decel? Let's see. Maybe this is decel. Get our let's get our flaps going down here. Hope I don't mess up this landing. Please. Please don't. Let's go ahead and turn on approach mode. Understand why the plane isn't down that much? Looks like a castle. Down here. Alright, here we go. We're starting to slow down now. Here comes our
2,500.
glide slope and localizer. These diamonds right here. See if we can get lined up for this landing. Why are we not going? Why are we not following the flight route? Oh man. I have to disconnect AP autopilot. Alright, we may be back on track here. Hopefully. Let's see. I don't know. I might have to manually land this. Seems like it's not following the flight plan, so that is not good. But see if my skills can take us in.
$2,500.
Oh boy.
2,000.
If we're gonna make it. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
1,000.
Oh boy. Flaps full. Oh, we're coming in. Are we gonna make it? If we make this, guys.
500. 400. 300.
We're coming in.
200.
Okay.
100. 50.
Oh, we're gonna.
40.
Looks like we're gonna make it.
30.
Come on. My computer's about to crash out.
Retard. Retard. Retard.
Oh, come on, land it. Oh man, we did it. We landed it. Oh man. Phew. We landed it. Well guys, wasn't easy. We did it. We landed it. Now, let's get off the runway. My computer is like glitching or something. Why is it doing this? There we go. Yeah, these throttles are not calibrated right. Alright guys, we made it. Let's try to get some direction to the gates.
Ground, Lufthansa 765 Heavy, taxi to gate. Lufthansa 765 Heavy, taxi to gate 241 using taxiway Lima.
Taxiway Lima 241. Okay.
Taxiing to gate 241 using taxiway Lima. Lufthansa 765 Heavy.
It looks like we're on Lima. You see this L right here? Let's try to. Maybe we're just need to go straight. Nice airlines here. Japan Air, Emirates, Virgin, All Nippon. Let's see, where's... Does it say the gate? Can we get some numbers? I don't understand. Okay, they're going back. Let's turn the engines off. Turn external power on. Just turn all these lights off. Oh, no smoke. flight directors off. Let's get ready to get the people off the airplane.
Lufthansa 765 Heavy. The jetway is going to be connected.
Let's gotta go to this door. Alright. There's a look. Heathrow. Right. Nice. Oh, looks like there's the city over there. Alright guys, if you stayed to this long, thank you for flying. If you like this video, drop a like, hit subscribe, and hopefully I have some more videos up for you in the near future. But yeah, if you watched this far, thank you for watching 704 Gaming. And peace out.